It is a spooky month, haha! I really wanted to do that for a Halloween intro. Anyway, so, when it comes to horror-based content, there's a lot of it. However, I'll be honest, not many I'd really cover. Not just because I don't cover spooky stuff. I'm either not interested in them, or the story becomes completely insane. So yeah, that's basically how I feel about horror content in general. However, one series is actually, in my opinion, one of my favorites, so I've been meaning to cover it this October. That being the Power Star Archives, made by Greenlight. Now, before I continue on, I want to say this will be somewhat of a spoiler for the series. The link of the playlist is in the description. Go check it out if you want. I don't mind if you don't. Alright, let's just start this damn analysis. Episode 1, Welcome Back, actually got a remake, so I'm not going to talk about the original. Most of the video is just regular gameplay. Nothing out of the yeah, you know. Anyways, then Wario gets his eyes merged. Okay, but I'm not going to go too far on one thing. We need to note this one entity. His name is Buggy. For now, all we know is that he possessed Wario and now is using him as his main puppet. So anyways, our player continues on, and apparently Buggy is more powerful than our player, so as he takes control. Then we occur on an acid trip with noting the fact that it's loading up AIs for the characters, and we switch to a new game, the Power Star Project. Oh, and Wario apparition corrupted data, I guess. Hey, version 123.38a. Totally won't be useful later. Okay, so let's go into the description and find some more details. Interestingly, the date of the recording is January 18th of 2022. Which is funny because the video looks like a damn VHS tape. That's all we can deduct from it though, so let's continue on. Episode 2, A Whole New World, is in widescreen? Yeah, hold up before saying any version 208.2x. Turns out we're dealing with a different version of the game here. Things seem off though. As the last video description, we saw the playable characters, but Toad wasn't enough that... Yes, I just sounded like an insane person. Get used to this. Like the first episode as well, nothing's off for the most part. Just some gaming Mario gameplay in SMBX. Oh yeah, I could have mentioned this as in SMBX, but too late! Anyways, things get odd with Luigi. First of all, no music. Second, while normal dialogue happens, we get this. Luigi's off in this version, seemingly knowing more than we do. Hell, he even tells us that we can't turn back, and then stuff goes back to normal. I think Luigi's sprite changed after that, but maybe I'm crazy. Keep this moment in mind. It'll be important. Checking the description shows the date being June 16th of 2022, meaning this takes a whole 5 months after the first. Episode 3, Burnt Memories. Back to 4x3, huh? So Peach gameplay until we get a nice message. Anyways, we see that this wasn't a bluff, and yeah, it's Wario. We even see manipulation of save states, since we can't exit out, so it's naturally time for a boss fight! Not too complicated, except our player over here does not know how to dodge, stamp, or tactile. Anyways, they lose badly. Then some cryptic shit happens. I have a feeling Peach may be sentient. Weird thing though, we don't get caught, and then Peach talks to us directly. She proclaims herself a goddess, and another acid trip later. Yeah, I think Peach may be another entity. However, not against us. We also get the reveal of the player's name. Andrew, though it's highly distorted. Same date as the first episode, so we can guess when it happened. Episode 4, Execution, ends up being the same as the second episode. Widescreen and nothing's off. Until a screenshot is taken with a secret code. Basically, you go to the first level, and once leaving the cave, input this code. Our player does that, and weird shit happens. We then see Mario. Yeah, this version of the game is based around the fact that Mario's missing, so that's odd. Luigi appears once again, though heavily destroyed, and he gets burned. We get an end screen because I think we found Mario, and Wario appears, so we can guess who still has control. Same date as episode 2, so we're good. The more interesting thing is the pinned comment. Whatever this is, a letter, a message, whatever. It's on June 17th of 2022, which is the next day of both the recordings. Now you can read this yourself, I won't, but here's the gist. The player who we've been watching has fallen victim to mental digitalization disease. His name is Zachary Ross. According to this, there's been nothing unusual for 5 months, and the stuff we've been watching was recorded in universe by Zach. In universe, they're rumors, but I think we can guess what they truly are. Anyways, keep this person in mind since they're the same as a certain future thing I will show. Episode 5, Wario Operation. Yep, it's time for him! We're back to Andrew's playthrough? The version is different, weirdly enough though. Version 122.38a. I wonder. Anyways, Luigi and Peach are blocked, so Andrew has has to choose Mario. This is the most odd level so far, which I'm not going to bother explaining because save states are in fact a mechanic. Nothing's unusual besides the countless deaths to eyeballs until the castle. A bit of exploring later, and wait a minute, what the hell, Buggy? Oddly enough, he has taken over this castle, Waffle style, hell yeah. So Mario goes into a hallway and we got our man himself, Wario. Usual stuff, Mario will be turned into property of Wario if lost, and we get a chase sequence, our dead end screws us over. The game breaks and we're booted to the title screen. Turns out a fatal error has happened. To note, we're not numbered 122. We're questioned by Mario. Apparently number 122 has already completed the game, so our player is numbered 123. Can you fit the puzzle pieces together? Before we go to the next video, let's note the description. January 17th, 2022. Yep, it's Andrew. Can you connect this to the version numbers though? I'll get to that later, but we have a secret video on our hands. This video is intended for the 122nd player. How nice! The video is a congratulation to you know who with a robotic voice. What is there not to love? Turns out that their bet is that the next playthrough is the last one, which well, but then the last obligation of 122 is to send a download link to someone who he preferably doesn't know. Yeah, I think we can guess, but again, I'm getting to that later. Episode 6, that damn code! So weirdly enough, stuff's normal again, even though there's a black screen. Anyways, then we get sent to the back rooms. Ooh, so scary! The wacky version of Mario appears again. Baxter puts us onwards, and then we see the Peach entity? She doesn't look in good shape, however, so it seems something's had happened. Her speech is already so screwed up. However, the player consumes the vessel of Peach and more drug-induced stuff happens. Check in the description, version 212.2x. It wasn't like that the last time. This recording is also ahead of time, unlike the other ones, July 1st of 2022. There's no guarantee that they're actually Zack. I'm presuming they are, but it could be another player for all we know. We actually have another message from that person from the 4th episode. Remember? It's on June 28th, 2022. The rumors in universe have just been confirmed, and there's 2 videos made by Zachary. Of course, the vision differences were noted. Then Luigi's mentioned being off, which we saw at the end of episode 2. The person theorizes that they're either not purged by Buggy, or a person that's been digitalized. A cheat code was told to Zack at the 2nd episode, however, who knows what it does. Buggy just casually disabled it. At the end of episode 4 seems to be a mental digitalization, which means that Zack is probably stuck in the game. Whoever is writing this has a clear vendetta against Buggy and knew who Andrew was. Alright, I think I've done enough here. It's time for the big one. Episode 7 sentence, starting off with a warning screen. Neat! We don't even need to look in the description for the date. It's just right there. Oh, and there's another documented mental digitalization before this. Andrew is confirmed to have been found dead. 2 days after this footage. I'm going to be skipping over a lot, so let's get to the interesting part. We encountered a Peach entity. Andrew decided not to talk, and one chase scene later, we find a Toad who has a plan against the Peach entity. So Andrew is going to attempt to destroy her. Anyways, then he gets digitalized. The creator said so in chat, so now Andrew has become Luigi. Back to the Peach entity who declares Andrew good as dead. Another chase thing. Then yeah, I think this explains a lot. Turns out, however, that Toad guy was Buggy all along. Then boss battle. Afterwards, we get into another section. Wario appears again. Then we kill Wario only for him to appear again. Now I don't even know what happened. The quote I'll be noting is, much like this game, the looping room will change little by little with each loop. Yeah, this confirms personalization is in the game. I'm pretty sure this is all a reference to the Mario 64 AI thing, similar to the Wario apparition. Afterwards, Buggy talks to us, not before Luigi's body decides to ditch itself. Guys, this is so sad. So Buggy hates cheating, that's interesting. Then he got so pissed off that he transported them into the game. So his master plan was to digitize another player. He ends up giving a deal to Andrew. Turn into Luigi. Yeah, there's nothing he can do, so another Buggy end screen. And that was it. Now part 8 is happening, but as of writing, the script is not out. There's one final video named Cannot Move. What I'm presuming happened here is what happened after episode 6. Like this comment right here. Version 212.2x has been completely corrupted, and by the description, we're in stalemate. Okay, so I went a bit into theory territory here, so let's go full in. Theory time for Matt Pat. No, he's not here. He went to get the milk. Using some posts from Greenlight, which may be disproven at some point, I'm going going to craft a timeline. First of all, the origin of the game could be at any time, so we'll not put that until we get info on that. Now let's probably begin with player 122's playthrough. We know it happened, but what happened in that playthrough is a bit unclear. Oh, and about the first playthrough, yeah, this is your explanation. Presuming it's similar to this fan game Greenlight was making, but this video is not canon. Player 122 could have also cheated because Buggy said in episode 7 that Andrew's predecessor had pissed him off. There's a chance that player 122 has been digitalized because episode 7 confirms Andrew is the second to be confirmed. The version of episode 5 when Andrew gets the game is 122.38a, so potentially the game didn't reset. Speaking of, at some point Andrew acquires this game. I think it's in January because of a tweet from Greenlight and because of the dates in the video. Yes, we need info from Twitter, which I refuse to recognize that new name. I'm like the nations that recognize Somaliland, which don't exist. Anyways, once the game finds out Andrew is not player 122, which is episode 5, it resets, making version 123.38a. Then episode 1 and 3 happen. I'm going to do another bold guess at the reason Buggy is scared of Peach is that they're a digitalized player. It could potentially explain why Buggy was scared Andrew would side with her in episode 7. Buggy simply just doesn't hold as much power as the players put inside the game. Speaking of that, shit happens like Andrew becoming Luigi and Peach being nearly destroyed. Buggy might have just won again. Then somehow Zack gets the game some months later, in which he records 2 videos. Andrew is presumably trying to help Zack beat Buggy. Well, I don't think Buggy has abandoned Wario's body. He might as well be Mario in 208.2x. We saw in episode 7 that Buggy can take multiple bodies as his own. Episode 4 shows how powerful Buggy is when he disables a cheat code. My bet is that he's trying to not let anyone cheat whatsoever after player 122, or maybe somebody else decided to. Now for the comments. Somebody has heard of rumors that Jack got the game. Then afterwards they confirm those rumors and start hunting for the game. In episode 6 there might be another person playing in episode 6, and potentially Zack is stuck as Toad. Now it's likely that the person in the comment is playing in episode 6. We see what has happened to Peach, and simply put, she's been nearly obliterated. Trying to consume the vessel breaks the game so hard that it turns into the 123.38a build. The game has basically just been broken now. Now I just have to wait for episode 8 to confirm or disprove that theory. Have mercy, Buggy, thanks. Now why do I like this series? No, I'm not stretching out this section. I just like it because there's no usual tropes. And while yes, it pulls ideas from the Mario 64 AI thing, the way it works is very different. I like the characters. Buggy's a very good character. I like mental digitalization as an interesting element. Okay, what do I do for an outro? I had an idea for the intro, but what do I do for the damn outro? Oh yeah, I got something. I have turned Greenlight into a proper green light. Let this be a lesson to never let Kian do puns ever.